Hey everyone, welcome back on GK Talks. So I am here with the new educational video. So in this video I am going to summarize the second part of chapter Ancient Education System of India. So let's begin it. From ancient times, several monasteries and viharas were set up for monks and nuns for meditation, debate and discussion purposes. For higher education, universities were set up for students coming from different countries. Kings and people of the society promoted education through Jataka tales given by Zhuang Zhang and Ai Qing. Both are Chinese scholars. Some of the notable universities that developed during that period were situated at Nalanda, Takshashila, Vallabhi, Vikramshila and Jagadala. These universities catered to the need of advanced level students who would develop knowledge through mutual discussion and debates with well-known scholars. The kings would also summon scholars of several universities and they would meet, debate and exchange their views. UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, has declared these universities as heritage sites that are considered the best centers of learning in the world. Takshashila was a noted religious Buddhist center of learning that attracted students from several countries. This famous place of learning would impart knowledge through the study of ancient scriptures, medicine, law, military science, astronomy, arts, etc. as a part of its curriculum. Legendary people such as Panini, Jivaka and Chanakya have studied there. The teacher also played a crucial role right from selecting students to framing the curriculum. When the teacher was satisfied that the students had developed a good understanding, the course would conclude henceforth. They encouraged oral learning among students. Nalanda was one of the most renowned institutes of higher education. The Chinese scholars such as Ai Qing and Zhuang Zhang visited Nalanda in the 7th century CE and gave realistic accounts of the place of learning. The syllabus was diverse as it included studying from the Vedas, and students were also trained in fine arts, mathematics, medicine, astronomy, the art of warfare and politics. The role of community was also significant in promoting education as financial support was given to educational institutions by rich merchants, well-to-do parents and society. Free education was imparted in ancient universities such as Vallabhi, Vikramshila and Jagadala. South Indian kingdoms also had cultural institutions which were known as Ghatika and Brahmapuri. Therefore, the ancient education system continued in ashrams, temples and indigenous schools. During the medieval period, maktabas and madrasas also served as educational institutions. The ancient Indian education system focused on the holistic development of the student, comprising both inner and outer self that would prepare them for life. Our present education system has a lot to learn and derive from the ancient education system. Educationists play a key role in recognizing the importance of multilingual and multicultural education, thereby bridging the gap between traditional and contemporary methods of learning. So as a conclusion, we can say that this chapter, Ancient Education System of India, teaches that the ancient education system played a vital role in developing the holistic development of students and how it has evolved over the years. And I hope learners, this explanation and summary will be helpful for you. You can check first part also that I have released in my earlier video. I have summarized the first part of this chapter in my earlier video. The link is given in the description. You can check, and you can check my other videos related to grade 7 and 8 English. The links are flashing on your screens. And if you like the video, please comment in the comment section. Please subscribe my channel for more updates. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.